Hello, my name is Darren LaCroix, and on August 25th, out of 25,000 contestants from 14 countries, I was fortunate enough to be crowned the 2001 World Champion of Public Speaking, the first person from any New England state to win the championship since the contest began in 1938. I've taught presentation skills to speakers as far away as Malaysia, Taiwan, and the Middle East. When I walk off stage, the most common comment I hear is, "Oh, I would love to do what you do for a living." And my thought is, well, why don't you? And I hear all these excuses. It just drives me crazy. Some people think, well, I'm not that good. Not that good? You want to be a motivational speaker and that's what's stopping you? Well, get good. And have you not ever seen at a conference a speaker who, well, maybe wasn't that good, but you knew they were getting paid? What did you think? I remember I used to be jealous and say, well, that should be me up there. I'm better than that, or I'm just as good as that. That might be true, but the bottom line is speaking is a business. And it's not about being a motivational speaker, but it's understanding what the industry is like, which you can learn, and how to get in front of the people who are the buyers or the meeting planners. How do you let them know you're out there? Which is a process that anyone can learn. When people say I'm not that good, well, get good. Seriously, if you've ever seen a speaker who wasn't that good, what did they do right? Well, see, the meeting planner had to make a decision based on their budget and go with the best option within their budget. You weren't an option. Neither was I when I first started. So if you can figure out how to show your skills and be in front of the audience, the buying audience, at the right time, then you would be the best option and you would be the one up there speaking. It is that simple, but you got to do it in order to make it work. So not being that good is easy to solve. If you're not already a Toastmasters member, join Toastmasters. Find places to speak in order to get good. Get learning from people who are the best. A lot of people, the other excuse I hear all the time is, well, it's easy for you. You're the world champion. Oh, really? Well, I wasn't always the world champion, and I was a paid motivational speaker long before I ever won the Toastmasters World Championship. See, it actually started because someone else started showing me about the value that I had that other people were willing to pay for. That's the industry in a nutshell. I wish you were there with me in the photocopy room right before my Toastmaster meeting in 1992. My club president pulled me aside and said, "Darren, do you realize what you have to give?" Give? Me? I'm here to get stage time. I wasn't here to give, I was here to get. Besides, what would I give? And Dan asked me a question. He said, well, you're trying to learn how to be funnier, correct? Well, yeah, but I'm still not there yet. I'm an opening act at best. And it reminded me of a quote by Dan Kennedy, one of my favorite quotes. And he said that in the land of the blind, the one-eyed man was king. Maybe you're the one-eyed man or woman. See, I didn't know a lot, but I knew, because of my studies, more than the general audience. So he encouraged me and I gave a speech about how to add humor to your presentation. I come from the comedy world. If they're not laughing, I'm dying. So people were taking notes. And I'm thinking, how rude. Because that's the world that I came from. In the speaking world, having people listening and changing the way they think is truly what we get paid for. We don't get paid to give a speech. We get paid to change people's thinking, to change their perspective. That's what a professional speaker does. And, well, the story goes, I gave the speech. It went well enough that they encouraged me to give a breakout session at a district conference. I was scared to death. I didn't have the confidence to do it alone. So I teamed up with another comedian / Toastmaster, and we gave a workshop on it. In the middle of the presentation, he froze. And I'm sitting in the back of the room thinking, somebody should do something. That's me. And I jumped into action and finally forgot about my own personal worries and started worrying about the audience and what they would walk away with. That's where I changed as a speaker, was in that moment, as I stopped worrying about me and started worrying more about them. Well, a woman, Bethany Gold Crow, came up to me after and said, "Hey, we'd love to have you as a keynote speaker for our upcoming HR conference. What do you charge?" Charge? Do you mean me pay you or you pay me? I was just starting to get paid at that time in stand-up, and I was getting about $50 a set. I'm thinking as quick as I can, and I had heard in the corporate world they charge a lot more. So I'm thinking 75. Her face went flush. I'm thinking I got too greedy. I was asking for too much. I'm thinking 65, 65. I did the presentation for $75. That was my very first paid speech. Turns out the comedian who did the same conference the year before, he got $1,000. It doesn't matter. 75 might as well have been 1,000. So just because I'm the world champion of public speaking doesn't mean you have to be well known or be a celebrity or have a best-selling author to get started. You can get started, you just need to learn how. It's easy for you because you're the world champ. Oh, I hate that one. Especially for people who want to be motivational speakers and you're letting that stop you. Another excuse that I hear is, well, I've never been paid before. Well, neither was I. But I became a student and I became a sponge and I went to people who were doing it and the best and I learned from them. I wanted to align my thinking with theirs. You can do the very same thing. If you want to get started, if you want to do professional speaking, get out there. Learn the craft. Speak anywhere and everywhere you can, but mostly learn the business and how the industry works. That not well known thing is just a fluke. I mean, yes, you might not get $20,000 a speech for your first speech. You may have to work up to that, but you don't have to be well known to get started. The other one I hear is, well, I don't know what to speak about. If I could just sit down with you for a whole day, I would make your mind spin on the things and the experience that you have that you can draw upon that other people are willing to pay for. You don't know what to speak about? Perfect. Let me mold you. Let me show you what you can do and what other people are willing to pay for and where they gather so you can be in front of them. I created this program called Get Paid to Speak by Next Week for people just like you who would like to start as a professional speaker. Now, this is designed to help get you started and get you that first paycheck. It's not going to make you $1 million next year. I wouldn't say that. My name is on the package. In fact, I've trademarked this system, Get Paid to Speak by Next Week. And I get letters from people around the country, mostly in the United States, but a lot of international ones as well. And they say things like, "Darren, your system has saved me years." That's from Michael Davis, a financial planner in Cincinnati, Ohio. I received my first speaking paycheck from Teresa Westcott in Houston, Texas. Let's see. Darren's system is the best investment I've made. He has opened my eyes to opportunities. That came from Jim McNerney in Enfield, Connecticut. You're welcome, Jim. Worth every dime from Robert Friel. Every dime and every moment he said he spent with my system. I love speaking, and I'm passionate about it, but I really want to show other people how to do it and how to not make the mistakes that I made. If you want to learn more, go to Get Paid to Speak by Next Week. Don't let objections in your own mind stop you. Learn, go to people who are doing it, and become a sponge, and follow your own dream.